G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we've got two friends from China, but their names are all too familiar. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll introduce our blue player second because his name is quite a bit interesting. He's taken on a little bit of a Corvinus 1 naming scheme today. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the color red as the Byzantines, we've got our Chinese friend.
Ektisa.
Indeed, Ektisa. And in the north of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Juicy Legacy, we've got Louis MT today, who will be known as I mistakenly purchased vanilla flavored Coca-Cola. Why is that scout so loud? Is it just me, or was that scout in your left ear really, really loud? I think because we zoomed in at the perfect time as well. We got right down on the level, so the scout just, she gave it all to our ears. Anyway, that's Louis MT. I'm kind of curious exactly what happened in his experience. And is vanilla Coca-Cola really that bad that you would make an... Dude, what? I'm starting to wonder, is my headset connected up incorrectly or something? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like all the voices are really deep inside my ears. Maybe I've just got my volume turned up a little bit too loud. But I know that I don't, because I can hear myself in my mic, and I kind of use that as my what do you say, like my levels where I'm roughly at. But I don't know, maybe, who knows. Anyway, vanilla cola's not that bad, is it? I remember when it first came out. I was young, but I remember trying it at my cousin's house and being like, that's good, that's some good stuff, because I'm pretty sure they'd release like lemon or lime cola, and I was just like, that is absolutely, what are they thinking? Whereas vanilla, that hit the spot. But I guess it's probably something that's a little bit more subjective, right? Like for different strokes for different folks. That's probably the best way to say it. Look, but if we're talking about strokes, especially those of the kind that are beverage related, ladies and gentlemen, it's our drink of the day. We're going to crack it open. A nice little cold one. I saw a comment from somebody. He said words to the effect of, day number 1 of telling Drongo to mix orange juice and Red Bull together. And I just responded to him, don't you dare, stop it right now. We're going to do it, but that's disgusting. Anyway, we're not going to do it. We just wanted to keep him quiet, because I'd hate for that crowd to get particularly unruly. That would suck. Every video. Oh god, I'm making it worse, aren't I? Okay, all right, we'll do it. Don't. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'll do it on the 30th of February. That Red Bull's good though. The Red Bull is good. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the matchup. We've got the Byzantines on the south, up against the Juicy Legacy. Typically, you'd expect to see them go into longbows in this matchup, mainly because the Juicy Legacy aren't particularly good at dealing with longbows. Louis MT going to be dropping the Meditation Gardens in his base. Nothing too crazy here. A little bit too far away to go for these ones at the front. Obviously has berries to the back, but there is absolutely nothing to connect it with. So I think this is probably about the best you could ask for. There's really not much else going on out here over on his side of the map. This would have been a perfect little spot for him if he was playing on the south side. But unfortunately, his Byzantine opponent is the one that is down here. Looks like he's going to opt to connect up the cistern to nothing at the moment, but he's prepping. And once the age up comes through, he'll just be able to drop it down immediately, drop it down low very, very quickly. So where do we go from here? What kind of meta are we looking at? Because we've got two civilizations. I mean, we've got one civilization that loves berries, right? The Byzantines absolutely love their... Bro, what is going on with the voices? Maybe my headset's just too loud. I think that's what it probably is. I think my headset's just too loud. Those voices in my head are very, very loud. Age up comes through. We've got some berries opening up here for our Byzantine player, but the Juicy Legacy, I'm suspicious as to whether we're going to be seeing some professional scouts. I would think that we are, and by the same token, are we going to see our Byzantine player opt to respond with their own professional scouts? And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Instead, we see the wheelbarrow coming through. Let's check in on that north side. Age up about to come through. Only a handful of sheep here, nothing too crazy. There's the age up now for Louis. He's going to pick up some gold, some food from this one. 25 gold and about 40 food, somewhere in that region. Not the most resources we've ever seen. Stable got cancelled, brought forward a little bit, wants to keep this open just for a lumber camp, I suspect. But running a little bit idle right here. Look at this, Louis MT definitely, clearly has had a bit too much vanilla Coke today, because he is he's not performing. Needs to get on the good stuff. Needs to get himself on the bulls. Look, it's not really the good stuff. It's the better stuff is probably water. But look, if I had a sponsorship, I wouldn't be saying that. You know who does sponsor me? Water. Water sponsors me. No, water doesn't sponsor me. That's an actual thing. you could actually be sponsored by Big Water. Big Water make crazy money, dude. Isn't that insane? It's kind of wild that, yeah, look, we're not going to get into it. There's a lot more wild things than water being capitalized. We'll move on. We'll move forward. We've got the scouts starting to come out here for Louis. Professional scouts, of course, is the name of the game. And the aim of the game is to get as many deer as you can on your back and bring them back to your mill. His mill's in the back of the base, so didn't go for a front of base mill, which means it's going to be a little bit harder for him to bring these deer in. And I find that kind of interesting, because when you think about it, right, it would just make sense to almost always have the mill in the front of the base, because you don't really care if the deer behind your base take a bit longer, but the ones in the front, that's definitely important. Let's check in on the south side, though, and see how our Byzantine player is going. No professional scouts at the moment. Only the single scout with a lot of sheep behind this little guy. And the two starting horsemen make their way across the map, looking to try and chase this scout back. He's just getting a bit of an idea on what his enemy's up to. Leave him alone. At least that's what Louis says. So, I think the next stage from here is going to be looking towards that castle age transition. Neither of these players seem particularly keen on committing to the feudal age, at least at the moment. It's just been horsemen for the opening. On the south side, the Byzantines do move into the longbowmen. We see the longbowmen now starting to come through from the mercenary house. So no real surprise there either. And it manages to keep most of these scouts healthy. Looking to start now on that second hunt. Has he actually spotted this one out? Yes, it has been spotted out by our Byzantine player. He knows where the second hunt is. You'll obviously know professional scouts is in play. He spotted the scout on the backside, or with the deer on the backside. And now horsemen together with the racks coming up. So nice little melee combo. Down over towards that east side. The Byzantine numbers continue to build. First of the longbowmen are out. And I'm going to take a seat back. I got a little bit of pain in my left shoulder at the moment. You know, as you get older, this is for all you younger folks out there. Anyone who's under like 30 years old, you're young. In my eyes, man, oh, dude, to be like 30 again would be amazing. I say this as like a 34-year-old though. So it's like, oh, you know. But I guess like things just start going wrong with your body. Like I just woke up and it's like, why does that hurt? Like that should not hurt. Why? How did I sleep? What's going on? Anyway, I got a bit of pain in my left shoulder. So I've just sat up in my chair and I said, you know what, left arm, you can just sit there. We're not going to look at the fog of war anymore. Though I could technically macro those to my mouse keys. Maybe I should look at doing that. That could be pretty cool. We could look at the fog of war with the mouse macro keys. Anyway, we've got more things to talk about. Bigger fish to fry as the Lametanai make their way out on the south side here. Louis MT going to try and cause a bit of idle time. Unlikely that he gets a villager, especially with the Lametanai nearby. But Vils are just going to pop the Akritoid defenses and say, how's it going? And Louis MT obviously says it's going great. And he runs away immediately. Horseman going to try and get a surround here. Can he find one of them? Lametanai going to try and do their best to stop. Louis MT doesn't want to take too much damage on these horsemen. And as a result, he falls back. We'll lose the one as the Golden Horn Tower starts coming down in the front of the base. It is well and truly hidden away here as well. Now, let's take a look over on that east side as we've got hunts that are being defended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 of the deer are here. Meanwhile, in the back of the base, we also have 7 deer that are here. So for the moment, our Byzantine player has done a good job of defending. Phil's going to come on the run here, and he's going to get spotted out. Still got the, it's the irrigated bonus. Don't get too fussed. North of the map, Shaolin Monastery going to be coming down. The one base play is just so, it's just such a standard, right? Such a staple of Age of Empires 4 at the moment. It's like, realistically, when was the last time you just saw a dude just rock out a 2TC? It's been a long time since I've seen a 2TC. Maybe from an English player. I think that's probably about it. And we're watching the Juicy Legacy. They are a civ that loves to go for a second TC. But not today. Not today. It is going to make a lot more sense that we look towards relics. Age Up about to come through for both of these players almost at identical times. North of the map will go through first to Louis MT, and then on the south of the map to our Byzantine Enjoyer. Both of them before 9 minutes and 30 seconds. It is a very decent timing for both of them. Keep in mind they will both have access to training religious units. We've got the monk coming out from the Grand Winery, and we'll have the Shaolin monk coming out of the Shaolin Monastery immediately. So they'll be both looking to get onto the map starting to secure these relics. Normally, you're going to see them prioritize the central contested relics first. Let's look to see how they go. Shaolin Monk is going to be heading down south. He knows about this relic in the north, so he's not going to be opting in that direction. At the same time, we look to see, I think both of them are going to be heading towards this relic on the east flank. Let's have a look and see how Louis looks to play it, though, as more and more units continue to add themselves into the army. He does indeed look to try and make his way across here, but out of position right now, our Byzantine player. Now, keep in mind, Louis MT, one of the best in the business, okay? This Byzantine player, I think he's probably about top 20, maybe top 30, somewhere in that region. No. Picks it up. Now, keep in mind, he can't wallolol the Shaolin Monk. The Shaolin Monk does not care about your wallolol, doesn't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. It is an unfortunate situation right now to be a Monk. Monk gets picked up. He could go for the wallolol here, but he's well and truly outnumbered. Look at this. He's popped the body of iron and tries his best to escape out the back. Meanwhile, doing a little bit of a distraction. Have we got more Monks on the west side? We do, heading out on the flanks. I don't know what the play is from a Grand Winery, but at the moment, it looks like it's going to be an idle relic. Gets dropped down on the ground. Let's check and just make sure that we don't have any more coming out. It's a bit expensive to get into it, but he's got plenty of resources in the bank, so it can be a bit difficult justifying all the APM that's going on right here. You can see Louis doing a wonderful job behind the scenes. Second relic has now been held in his possession, though technically it's going to be the first one that he actually secures. Now, keep in mind that doesn't show on the UI. We didn't have the budget to get the number one shown up there for the Shaolin Monk. It'll show up for the normal Monk, but not for the Shaolin Monk. We couldn't afford. We couldn't get it. Microsoft aren't giving handouts, guys. Sorry. sorry. Hey, we'll get it fixed up. We'll get it fixed up in the expansion. Don't worry. If we're lucky, don't worry. Maybe they'll fix up the Ayyubids. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry. I love that we're getting 2 expansions and I'm still so salty. Oh, dude. Like, there are games that have been cancelled, Drongo, and you're complaining about your +1 not showing up. Well, mate, I need to see how many relics are getting carried in. I don't know. I'm gonna have to count them. 1 here, 2 here, 7 over there. Yeah, I'm not. When it comes to counting, it's not my strength. All right, it is not my forte, mathematics. I'm just kidding. It is absolutely my forte. I think I've told this story a million times, but oh man, it's one of those flex moments. You know how you look back at your life and you're on your deathbed and you're like, that was a good time. Like, this is one of my times that I'll throw out there. When I was 8 years old for my 8th birthday, my mum got me a watch, and it was a 24-hour watch. I think I've told this story before. I still love telling it. Anyway, it was a 24-hour watch, so I was like, why not? I'll just put it on 24 hours. Who needs 12-hour time? I'll do 24-hour. And I just did it for the memes. Anyway, I learned all of the time, and eventually, later that year, we had a test on 24-hour time, and it was like a public test where they did this thing where they made us all stand up in the class, and you could basically get people out if you got an answer right. And anyway, I just literally demolished the entire class because I'd learnt 24-hour time on my watch like a couple months beforehand. Felt good, man. It felt good. That is up there with casting Red Bull Wallalow. I'll say that right now. You know, there's 3 things I'm looking on from that. It's like the birth of my first child, Red Bull Wallalow, and that experience back in grade 3. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, Palace Guard numbers are starting to rise here. Louis MT looking a little bit more scary. No crossbows coming out just yet for our Byzantine player. He's going to have to fall back away from the Palace Guards. +2 ranged armor as well, and truly through on these. You can see how much he's going to struggle with them on the retreat. Where are the crossbows? Excuse me. We need more crossbows. What's going on here? Varangian Guard are coming out. Sure, it might work, but do you mind making a crossbow or 2? More longbows getting added into the mix. He's actually doing a decent job of holding for the moment. Louis MT starting to struggle as the numbers for the Byzantines build up. This is what they do best. We'll check in on the south side. I particularly remember after demolishing the entire class, or not after, but before, there was like the one girl that I was crushing on, who was sitting across the class from me. And I like walked all the way over to the other side because it basically worked on like if you got a correct answer, you could take 2 steps and then you could like tap someone and get them out. And so I had to get like 6 correct answers and walk across the class and then tap her. She was the first one out because I just, you know. Anyway, maths is my forte. Don't mess with me, Relic. Don't mess with me. I will count this. 3 against 1 at the moment. And look, we're going to need more crossbows. I can give you that maths. That is for sure. Bringing them back. The scout still slowly How many has he managed to snag? Look at this. I think he's taken 6 out of 7. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, it looks like the remnants of this deer pack will be collected by our Byzantine player. But I tell you what, the fact that Louis managed to sneak those out is very impressive. Nesta B is going to be coming out shortly from the Siege Workshop. He's got the ability to supervise here. You can see all the Imperial officials just gathered around ready to supervise. And of course, that's going to be the way that it goes. Over on that west side, Sacred Site being picked up. It's we managed to get a 3-1 split on the relics despite that happening. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't a 4-1 split, but I guess Louis just maybe misplayed in the center. Scout's going to get taken out. Shaolin Monk as well here, up against the Cataphract. Longbow numbers. Nesta Beast firing off. Varangian Guard. Once again, Nesta Beast misses the shot. And slowly but steadily, Louis MT is stabilizing. If you were to look at the scores, Louis MT apparently is ahead by 500. It doesn't feel like a game that Louis is ahead by 500. I would say it's the opposite. If you told me the Byzantines were up by 500, I'd be like, yep, that feels about right now. Now, interesting thing to note, we do have Landsknechte in queue. And I'm a big fan of this, because there's a couple ways that you can go about dealing with Palace Guards, but Landsknechte is definitely one of them. It is probably one of the best ways to deal with Palace Guards in the game. They're not as fast, so if you're thinking like, okay, I'm going to be run-byed, is that a term? If the Palace Guards are going to attempt a run-by, then, Knights or Cataphracts might be a better option for you. But I think if you're going head-to-head against them in a battle, you can't really go past the Landsknechte. It's so difficult to deal with, because you have to snipe it out. You have to snipe it out with a crossbows or archers or something, but you really can't just allow the enemy Landsknechte to just stand and fight, especially when they're dressed like my favorite childhood character's best friend. This is Ronald McDonald. Why is that so loud? Is it just me? I feel like the voices of the Byzantines penetrate my eardrums like the 24-hour clock. I'm not. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, my childhood best friend, Grimace, man, Grimace. He's got a milkshake and everything now. Not really. I didn't like that guy. Who did I like? No, nobody really. I guess that's what it's like growing up with autism. You don't like anybody. You do enjoy your own company. I guess that's one thing. Anyway, sorry. Let's sorry. We'll move on. We'll move on. Trying to snipe out the Nesta B. Doing a decent job here. Nesta B, you can see it barely gets any damage in on those longbows, but they've got such damn range on them. Firing off, manages to get just a little bit of damage. He's waiting for that good shot to come in. Where's the money shot? There it is. Nice little bounce. He's going to have to fall back away from this. I don't think you can play too much with fire. Not when the Nesta Bs are like this. You've got to... How do you deal with this? I think you probably go imp off this, right? Do you drop a second TC, then go imp? Maybe? Second TC castle, then imp? No, probably not. Too much of an investment. Louis MT is a good player. He's a good player. He knows what he's doing. Tang Dynasty for the moment. Do we see a song around this corner? Does he dare sing the song of my people? Probably not. He could just play one TC this whole game. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if both of these players just played one TC this whole game. Now that I've said that, watch them drop the TCs. Ready? I give them 30 second stops. They'll both have TCs. They'll both have like 4 TCs in the next 30 seconds. That wasn't even planned, dude. What the? I didn't even check the resources. I was just... Okay, sorry. Look at this. Look at this. It's funny. If you play both sides, you can't be wrong, right? Like if you say they're gonna drop TCs and go imp, and they drop TCs and go imp, you're right. And if you say they're probably not gonna drop TCs and go imp, and then they don't drop TCs and they don't go imp, then you're gonna be fine. And by the way, look at the resources here. Byzantines, are we dropping our TCs, or what are we doing? Are we gonna drop the TC? We're building farms? No. We're not building olive groves, my friend. Not when we've got this much. Louis MT now going to go into Jiangnan Tower. Louis, you've done it the wrong way, my friend. It's Jiangnan Tower, then second TC, my friend. But probably just going to be looking at the transition over to farms. We do see he's on berries at the moment. He's got the last berry patch at the back. He's also got one towards the front, but with longbows, it's always dangerous. You really don't want to fight out here when you've got Vils on the berries and a couple of Nesta Bs, and you're like, oh, these longbows are getting in my pajamas. Longbows, best stay out of your pajamas. Just like the 24-hour clock. Better stay out of your pajamas as well. All right, let's check in with my Red Bull. Give me a sec. Have we got the second TC? Where's our second TC, Mr. Byzantine player? Surely you've realized right now that it is like there's a lull in the action. Louis not pushing out. There's a reason he's not doing that, and that's because he's got a second TC. It's because he's quite comfy at home. All right, let me check in with that Red Bull. Give me a sec here. It's good. It's doing well. It's doing wonderfully. It's doing like me when I was 8 years old in maths class. It is absolutely doing wonderfully. That's a good Red Bull. You know, interesting fact for you guys. Coca-Cola's #1 competitor, not Pepsi. It's Red Bull. There you go. Interesting. Interesting. I guess it's hard to... Well, I mean, it's not really. Anyway, I have all these thoughts, and then I think of the immediate retort to it. I don't know if that's the correct term. I'm like one vowel away from a slur, so I'm just gonna be really careful. Is it a slur if like you say it? I feel like it's not, right? Like, sorry, is it a slur if you say it but you are that thing? Maybe. Anyway, look, you're playing with fire, Drongo. Just leave it. Just walk away. We're getting into cursed territory. We're actually getting into cursed territory. You know when a video becomes a cursed cast that you never go back once you get cursed. And I feel like, you know, if I'm being honest with you, we're probably cursed for a couple of minutes now at least. Launch connector gets smashed out. Now keep in mind, with the launch connector, you need to have support units. You can't just fight with the launch connector. You need to have the enemy units attacking other things, because they're quite weak, the launch connect. If we take a look here at the launch connector, if we can click at 85 health on it, compare that to a Lamentai 120, a Varangian Guard 140. So you want to try and have these support units nearby, just so that that launch connector is going to be able to not take the brunt of the force. Palace Guard numbers looking good here. He's at 44 at the moment. A whole bunch of spears now going to start coming out as well. Ville's on the move to the north. Palace Guards going to get caught out. He's got to be careful. They get intercepted towards the top side. Longbows teeing off on those Nest of Bees. He does have a villager here to repair. Big shot from the Nest of Bees, looking incredible. The Cataphract going to dive down on the backside. Longbows working their magic, slowly pipping them down, working their way through. The numbers are decent. He's got a little bit of a decision to move up towards the top side, but Palace Guard numbers are absolutely fine. I think that initial volley that he got off was incredible, but have a look at this from the south side. The Byzantines has put the foot down and just come through, broken in on this bottom side. He's sieging down the blacksmith. He doesn't care about the enemy army right now. He says, enemy army? What enemy army? I've got a blacksmith to siege. Nest of Bees is down to a single or double or a triple, depending on how many you can count. Looks like it's a little bit hard to see them all, but there's 3 back there somehow. Longbow numbers still looking good for our Byzantine player, and low EMT in trouble in this ranked ladder game. Things are not looking pretty. He's going to fall back on a keep, going to try and keep himself alive right now. Who needs a second TC? He does. That's why he needs a second TC. I checked the minimap before I finished that sentence, very fortunately. Longbows trying to take out these vills before they're able to get this keep online, but unfortunately for them, he's playing the juicy legacy. They're going to come up really quick here. Is the game loud, or is it just me? I think it's just me. I don't think the game's actually loud. My ears are being rattled right now by the sounds of knobs and the sounds of villagers and longbows, and the Vills are going to get in on the action. How many has he lost so far? He's lost a fair bit, up to 20, but he's taken them out. Look at this. Vills now get pulled down towards the Nest of Bees to help out. 58 versus 54 Vills. We're both working it down slowly, but in the end, Louis MT manages to stay alive, manages to stay thriving in this juicy legacy base. What a defense from Louis MT. How does he do it? I think the key is the keep. Right, the keep is the #1 component of that. Second component is the Nest of Bees, and the third component is the villagers, repairing them, just keeping them alive constantly. He was able to just keep the head cool and calm and collected, and that's really it. I mean, there's nothing else to add other than that. Second TC is down now for both of these players. All right, if there's ever been an opportunity to go Imperial Age, now's the time. Now that I've said that, watch this be like, this will be a 65-minute castle game. They only played the Castle Age here. We'll pay attention. We'll see exactly how it goes down. But the pressure is going to continue to maintain. This is just classic Byzantine. Let's switch it over to income per minute. Get a bit of an idea on where these two currently stand. You're talking 400. We'll call it... sorry. 1,300, 1,500, 1,700, 2,200 for our Byzantine player. On the side of Louis, so 2,200 versus 800, 1,400, 1,700, 2,000. So relatively even. Sorry, my math is... I mean, we've already talked plenty about math here. I'm giving you guys just another level. I'm slowing it down just to help you guys. All right, that's all that we're doing here. Not everybody can be as talented at 24-hour time as the Drongo. That is a fact. That is... Oh, my lord. Oh, gosh. It's the little things. It's the little things. I can't wait to talk about that for the... I mean, I look forward to it. Talking about that for the rest of my life. That's a highlight. That is a highlight. It's one of those core memories. Did you ever watch that movie where it's got the little girl and she's got the memory balls inside her and it's like the core memory? It's like that for me. That was a core memory. Just shitting on 32 8-year-olds. Oh man! All right, I'll stop. Let's move on. We're cursed. We're cursed. At this point, we are cursed. We are absolutely cursed at this point. There's no coming back from it, ladies and gentlemen. We've officially entered cursed territory. Welcome. This is where we no longer care about the quality of the cast. All we care about is just having a good time, and that is absolutely okay. That's what we came here for. We will occasionally check in with the players and check in with the battles that are going on. But in the meantime, welcome. Nesta B numbers are rising. The stonks, Nesta B stonks are on the rise. Decent coverage right here on the enemy units. What is this raiding party? Can we just talk about this? What are these units even doing up here? I'm sorry, but our Byzantine friend has curiously positioned his units in this game. I don't know if this was the play, Chief. Still quite angry towards the front of the base. Down to the south side, palace guards are through. There was a bit of a gap in, I was going to say in the wall, but it turns out there's actually no wall back here. This is technically not a wall. I mean, it is, but there's holes in it, so it's not particularly efficient. It's not the strongest of defensive options. We'll say that much. Springwood emplacement, going to try and hold on the bottom side here for Louis. No one even looking close to him. Not when you're making units like this. Look at the troops. Oh my god, he's done it again. Look at this. 70 military versus 36 right now. The Byzantines are absolutely cooking, dude. How is this civ even a thing? Like, when you think about it, right? Like, there's no real difference between these two. They both put second TCs down at the same time, and Louis is just getting absolutely ruffle stomped in this game. Like, it's not even close when it comes to the military number. He's going to lose the village on the front. Needs to be careful. Those Nesta Bs are looking to tee off. Does he look to commit? You're very, very bold if you commit up against Nesta Bs. In a position like that, he wants to secure the gold in the front of his base. He's going to do his best to bring Vils. How many's he got? Only 6. Almost a bit of a bait, if I'd say so. Chases away the enemy units and falls back for the moment. Says, you know what? We're just going to hold here for now. Up towards the top side. It's the classic Nesta B defense. If you haven't seen it before, basically the way it works is you build walls and then you put Nesta Bs behind them. And then the opponent kills the walls. And then you build a new layer of walls and you move the Nesta Bs behind those walls. And you just keep repeating that cycle until the enemy brings longbows. And that, my friend, is very close to a checkmate. Do you remember playing chess growing up? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you weren't a nerd. I was a nerd. I remember my mum's partner teaching me chess. I think I was about 6 or 7. Probably a bit younger than that, actually. And I remember learning the 4-move checkmate, dude. And I remember 4-move checkmating my sister. And then my sister 2-move checkmated me. And I was just like, what? The like, how is this even possible? Like, this isn't a thing, right? And then I studied it. I think I must have studied the board for about 12 minutes. And I was just like, I can't believe it. I've been checkmated by my sister. 2 years younger than me. An absolute fool. In 2 moves. In 2 moves. And I never lived it down. She messages me every week about it. Not really, not really. Age up, age up. It's the Temple of the Sun. Ain't got no time for any moons around this part. We are absolutely partying all day with this. Look at the number of units. Look at the number of units right now for the Byzantines, dude. They really do not care. Look at 189 against what? Sorry, Louis. Good luck with the game, though, brother. I think the biggest problem that the Byzantine player's got is he's got too many units to fit through the wall. He needs to fight somewhere open where his units can actually get value. And he's not really doing it at the moment. Nice little palace guard raid on the bottom side. He's just got to commit the Nesta Bs on the top. Going to try and find the raid. The cataphracts charge under the back line. Beautiful connection. Vils brought forward. Repair comes through. Not going to be enough. More Vils to the front line. Holds it. Blocks it. See you later, mate. Nesta Bs turn. Return fire. Louis MT trying to hold on. More Nesta Bs raining down from the heavens above. Villagers to the front line. He's losing them by the second. They're going down. Quick wall, and he holds in the choke point. Louis MT, the absolute master of defense. You are witnessing it here. How does he hold when he is down so significantly. The villager pull, the control, the cataphract trap, everything was just pixel perfect. All 5 of the Nesta Bees stay alive. Oh, you are witnessing greatness right here. There's a reason why this guy is so damn good. Wow. What in... I hope, for your sake, that you haven't missed this. And by virtue of you listening to this, you haven't missed this. But I just want to say, for the folks that gave up before this, you know, the people that were like at the 23-minute mark and they're like, nah, this game ain't going anywhere. Boy, did they miss out. Boy, hey, come on, be honest. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Hey, come on. That was good. They missed out. You got to leave a comment down below for all the guys who missed out. You got to let them know. Let them know. Be the one. Be the one to tell them that they missed out. Or you, fellas, if you dropped the ball before the 29 minutes, you sure missed out. That's for sure. That is for sure. Anyway, welcome. What is going on with this cast right now, dude? I'm not drunk. I swear I'm not drunk. I've not had any sort of substances or anything like that. The only substance I've been eating is like my wife's sourdough bread, which has just been incredible. But, I mean, maybe it's fermented a little bit too much. Perhaps. Not really. Elite Palace Guards now breaking through the enemy base. Louis MT putting the heat on, turning the heat on to his opponent. Mangonel in placement. Not going to be doing too much here. The village is going to go down much faster than the Palace Guards are. Plenty of health on them, 180. They're running around with their fast movement speed from the Temple of the Sun. It's going to be buffing them up to 1.58, almost as fast as a knight. Meanwhile, towards that top side, a couple more Palace Guards, elite Palace Guards at that, working their magic up against the Varangian Guard, yet to receive their elite upgrades. We do start to see elite contracts are coming through now for our Byzantine player. But unfortunately, not a whole lot of Lance Connector out for him at the moment. He's only got 8 on the field currently, but he's going to get some decent upgrades from this. So you'll get Lance Connector upgrade, longbow upgrade, but there's a distinct lack of crossbows. I will say that we've experienced it today. Louis MT now looking to push out against this Byzantine player. Get him, Louis. Get him. Show him what you're made of. Louis potentially looking to fight outside of the choke points. Dangerous, Louis. Dangerous. More units towards that top side. Keep in mind, we got walls. We got double walls. There might be a little bit... I don't think there's a break in here, actually. He's fine. Gonna be a break in here shortly, though. That's for sure. Keep with the Mangonel in placement. Coming in. No boiling... Actually, I take it back. He does have boiling oil. No, he doesn't have boiling oil. He's researching boiling oil. I could tell right there. I was like, hold on a minute. There's no boiling oil. But there is boiling oil in queue, and he's just going to focus down the keep. Attack from behind. Sieging it down with just a couple of spearmen left. He's going to look to try and surround. Longbows have got their elite upgrades over towards the east side. More spears as well. And we hear the longbows using their special ability to fire even faster. Nesta Bees working their magic. He's got 4 back here for the moment. A total of 5 is out somehow. There's the 5th one. And he's managed to chase them back, but into the stealth forest, into the stealth forest. Does Louis see it? Louis doesn't see it. Louis got to be careful. But they're both very, very cautious around that stealth forest, doing the right thing. Meanwhile, towards the top side, boiling oil, still about halfway through, 44 seconds to go. You get the boiling oil, and you'll be fine in defending this position. That's going to be key in this defense. Where is he even researching it? It's got to be over here. Indeed, it is. Wants to make sure that even in the event that he loses the keep, he still gets the boiling oil research completed. Nesta Bees doing their work. Louis MT, I tell you what, if they did, you know what, those folks who left before 29 minutes, absolute fools. Absolute fools. Absolute fools. Say it 3 times, just for extra effect. Just so you know that their status as fools is absolute. There's no discussion. There's no question. It is not an if. It is not a but. It is just a matter of fact. Lance Connector cleaning up. Look at this. Ronald McDonald out in his iron suit today. Swinging hard. Working the magic on the Palace Guards. Unfortunately, they've all gone down. And we've got like a little reset. But the thing is, if Louis MT has held this long, and he's held this hard, I just feel like as a Byzantine player, like where do you go from here? What do you do from here? How do you possibly have the motivation to continue? After experiencing what you've experienced today, how do you know that, okay, you look, hey, I had triple his military population. Still couldn't do it. Still couldn't pull it off. Like, what chance do you have if you're at 100-100? Like, if the fight is fair, what chance do you really have? Louis MT is just on another level. That was absolutely god level what we just witnessed at the 29-minute mark. For the folks who did actually witness it. Because there were folks that did. And those folks, I'm just going to say it, absolute the curse cast is so much fun, dude. Oh, I love them when they get like this. We like to get a little bit silly. We like to get a little bit silly. Sometimes. We got elite upgrades coming through for Varangian guards. Finally, hey, does anybody know how to make crossbows? Does anyone have any archery ranges? I got stables. I got Raxes. I got one of these things, a mercenary house. But what is an archery range? Now, for anybody wondering, you can't actually make archers. You don't actually, as the Byzantines, the newest update, they don't get access to the archery range. This is incorrect. It's a UI bug. We didn't have the resources for it. Trust me. Okay, there's still a lot of UI bugs in the game. That's one of them here. The Byzantines don't have an archery range. It's a weird one, I know. But could you imagine if some of like the new civs in the expansion pack just don't have an archery range? Like they just don't get archers. I mean, technically, the Malians are kind of close. Not really, but kinda. Because they have the Musafati, right? Like that's your kind of pseudo. Well, it's not even your pseudo. It's your crossbow replacement. It's nothing like the crossbow, but it does the same job of the crossbow. Palace guards running through once again, trying to cause a little bit of havoc inside the base. Louis has somehow just put the pedal to the metal. He's taken out 30 vills in the last 3 to 4 minutes. He's been all over the map. Outpost now going to be coming up over on the west side, or rather east side of the map, on the left side of my screen. And Vill's now going to be just doing what they do. I love that he's just skipped over this. They both agreed. We'll both drop an outpost, and neither of us is going to hurt each other. Let's do it that way. They're both. It's a gentleman's agreement. Look, sometimes you got to do it. Excuse me. Nesta B's looming, looking. Has he picked up the siege upgrade? He has. Oh, they've got it. A single palace guard sacrifices himself for the cause. Nesta B's on the run. 37 minutes into this game. And Louis MT looks to try and keep the remaining Nesta B's alive. More units trickling out. He's all over this map. Outposts coming down. Once again, palace guards make their way through. If we could, imagine if we could just have a wall. Can we just get a wall completed across the front of the base just to prevent any more palace guards from entering the face? Keep coming up. Keep coming up. Keep going down. Keep going down. Vill's going down. Vill's going dead. Less than 10, or almost 10% remaining. About 11% remaining. A little bit under 11%. Louis MT taking a bit of an L down here over on the east side. Still got large golds around here. So both players well and truly committing to this gold battle. Palace guards just working their magic. He's still got that movement speed on them for the moment. And he's really just looking to mix as much as he can. It's just a full palace guard spam. And if only there was a unit that you could make that would counter them, that it came out of a range where archers once existed. Kind of looks a bit like this, but I would say smaller, with a few more archery themed things. Palace guards once again working their magic. Idling out on the west side. Streltsy are here. We don't have archers, but we do have Streltsy, and I'll take those. I think those are absolutely fine. Now, could we potentially get a wall towards the front of the base, just to prevent, you know, I don't know whether you guys have seen this, but there's a few palace guards on the map at the moment, and they are occasionally, I'm not going to say like quite often, but occasionally getting into the main base and causing the death of 89 innocent settlers. Settlers? No, that's Age of Empires 3. Citizens? No. Workers? No. Villagers? Yes. Villager. We got it. Nesta B's doing what they do best. Buzzing around, creating a hive of fun. Cataphracts. You could turn, I mean, he's going to try and bring them down. Let's see if he goes for a charge here. He does have the trample ability. He's not going to go for it. Mangonel emplacement is working its magic. I think he's going to cancel this one as well. The second keep is going to be knocked out. Once again, he's working it slowly. And it looks like the Cataphracts try for a charge or a trample towards that top side. More horsemen now coming out. And the Byzantine player, he's struggling to field units here. Look at the difference between the military pops. You got 26 up against 44 plus 12. You're talking 55. Absolute monstrosity from Louis MT, bringing it back into this game. But you know the worst part? Those folks, the ones we were talking about before, the ones who left before 29 minutes, they got no idea what they're missing. They got no idea what they're missing. Me and you, You and I, us together sailing on this ship. You're holding me. I've got my arms out. You're whispering in my ear. Drink the Red Bull, Tronco. You're right, I should. That's good. Well, to be honest, those voices are getting louder. Those sirens are getting louder. Dude, how loud are those sirens? Is it just me? Maybe my volume's up too high. I think my volume's set too high. Why is my volume so high? Did I reset my volume? Maybe that's what I did. Hold on, let me finish drinking this Red Bull. You were the one who whispered it, right? You're the one who told me to drink the Red Bull. Give me a second here. That's a good Red Bull. That is a good Red Bull. It's a standard. It's an OG. Just the original, but it's still good. It's still good. It's a little bit warm now. You know, it's been a... What are we at? We're at 40 minutes here. It's been a 40-minute cast. It's been just chilling out here for 40 minutes. Well, technically not chilling. What's the opposite of chilling? It's been warming. It's been getting room temperature warm over the last 40 minutes. Guess you could say heating. It's been heating over the last 40 minutes. Not that the guys who left before 29 minutes would know. God. What did they even do? What was so special about those guys? Who do they are that they think they could leave at 29 minutes? Or before 29 minutes? Louis MT, now going to start working on the east side. And you can feel that he's slowly tearing apart his Byzantine opponent. He's just working him out from every single angle, slowly getting there, walling the entire map. Louis MT absolutely looking to take control, but you know the worst part is just... Yep. I was gonna say it, and then I said, you know what? I've beaten the dead horse enough. You don't need to hear it again. But those folks at 29. No. I won't. I'll stop. All right. More and more palace guards rallying in. Louis MT 185 pop. Let's do a quick check. Louis MT playing Age of Empires 4 the same way I used to play Total Annihilation, making sure all of his workers, or in this case, his farmers, are all safe at the back of the base, and that's going to be it. That's all that matters. Who cares about anything else in this game? Because that is what is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure this weekend you go check out EGC TV. They're going to be live tonight. In fact, they'll probably be live right now after, as I'm saying this. So go say good day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.